All right.
You see my back here split right down the middle.
You sit a little bit closer to Matt. Come on, it looks like you guys are friends. All right, so we are live now. Just for you guys to know, the viewer count will be up here. So right now we're at 0.
We're at 0. Come on, viewer.
Usually that picks up a little later. So
yeah, hold on. We're gonna shut this website down.
And you might get some people viewing after the fact. So after this, it's saved, and then I send it to YouTube. You guys can watch it.
So what level does it monetize?
None. We have no sponsors and we have no subscribers. But
not after today.
Yeah, get ready.
So thank you both gentlemen for playing along with me with this All-Star live draft.
Okay.
You guys have in front of you the players that are available to be drafted. So just so you guys know, I mean, to give an overview, you guys will be drafting 7 players and then 1 additional player in case one of the 7 is free. So you'll be drafting 8. If for some reason more than 2 people cannot make it, then I'll find another alternate for you guys. But essentially, you're drafting 7 to play and then 1 additional player.
Got it.
If you guys want to play, I'll leave that up to you. I was hoping that you guys would actually coach because I know you guys have been here for a lot of seasons, and I know that you know a lot of people need coaching. A lot of these teams need a coach and would play a lot better if they had one. And so I want to, just like the NBA All-Star Game, the last couple of seasons, the All-Star Game wasn't very...
I hate the All-Star Game.
So I want you guys to understand my purpose for having the All-Star Game. My first reason is I want my captains are always on this list, and I want to reward them for A, being a captain, and B, normally when there's kind of playing time, like they're trying to balance the playing time, the captains usually are the ones that sacrifice their own.
Yeah, true.
So I want to reward them for it. So that's number 1. Number 2, I wanted to see good basketball. So I'm hoping that all 10 players on the court know how to play basketball. I'm not trying to knock anyone down, but there are a lot of players who know how to play basketball. And there's a lot of players who know how to play one-on-one, right? And I love seeing good basketball. I think when the whole team is involved, it just makes the game much more fun for everyone on the court, but also for people watching. As much as it is to see Rhino run down the court every time, it's not fun to see 4 players not moving on the other side because they think Rhino's just going to go by himself, right? So that's my intention for this All-Star Game. So whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know, but I'm hoping that this change, having a coach, you guys can dictate exactly what they should be doing, and you guys can pull people out. Like that's an actual person that's holding them accountable. Because the captains, I've told them to do that, but it's hard when you're playing on the court to kind of focus on the substitutions and what.
Sure.
But so that's why I was hoping you guys would actually be coaches. Hey, you're not doing what I'm trying to do, what the game plan was. So I'm hoping that threat is going to help people do something with. Do you guys think that would help at all?
Absolutely.
I do. I've run All-Star games in the past, and they're hard to control, and they turn into the NBA All-Star Game, and people shooting 50-footers. And
those coaches, they're not coaching. I'm hoping you guys will actually coach.
Yeah, I'd like a good competition. That's more fun to watch.
That's my purpose for this, and that's what I'm hoping you guys can do. So originally, Matt, it was suggested that it would be Scott and Doug because Doug is significantly older than you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So they really wanted all the wisdom.
They wanted 2 of the wisest people. But I thought it was weird because everyone knows them, but Doug hasn't played this season, so he doesn't know the players. You guys did play this season, so you guys should know the players better. But I also like the added layer of both of you guys have worked CHS, which is half our league. And I wanted to kind of see if that generated any rivalry between the 2 of you. I don't know that would, but I just wanted to kind of have that extra layer of competition.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of
20 years ago, it had probably been a rivalry.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's kind of the what my captains came up with. Let's have two people coach the all-star team, and I thought, I don't know that a lot of any of the young players have the ability to coach. Number one, and number two, I think they'd rather play than coach. So if I gave them the option, they're going to play. But I feel like you guys would be willing to actually step in as a coach and coach teams. So
Sure.
that's I want you guys to know my heart and kind of thought behind it. But thank you guys for being here. So we'll have a lot of other things going on, but I want to get this draft out of the way first, just so we have it set.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was gonna bring a coin to flip it. I don't have a coin, so
Rock, paper, scissors. It's the great equalizer. And
it's to win.
nope. Yep. Only one time. There's no best. No best 2 out of 3.
Do you guys go rock paper scissors and shoot? Or rock, okay. So why don't you guys go?
Okay.
Oh, on shoot.
Okay, you ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right. So Matt wins.
All right.
Would you like the first pick or would you like the second pick? So it's a snake draft. So it'll be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So up to you.
So if I go second, I get 2?
Yeah. So I will give you the option if you want to take the first pick or if you want to defer.
Boy. Okay.
First big decision of the night.
Yeah.
And it's huge. Don't worry about it.
This will set the tone.
It just may make a difference. I don't know.
I think I'll let Scott go first.
On the board now.
How much time do I have to consider my pick? You're a thought.
10 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Scott, with your first pick, I'm going to preface this by saying that if you end up picking one of your sons, they're going to know which one's a favorite.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that is weighing on yourself.
It's being recorded.
Not a bit. Not a bit.
Okay, so Scott, what's your first pick? Who are you going to go with?
I'm going with Nathan.
Nathan, okay. So Nathan Brummett, one of our most electrifying players, both talented in terms of physical ability and also currently playing in college, right?
Correct.
Would you when you saw Jacob growing up and when you see Nate growing up, did you kind of already have a sense that Nate was going to be the type of player?
Yeah, that youngest ideal, because he grew up in a gym watching his brother and sister play. So he was picking up a ball trying to shoot threes when he was 6.
So
he hasn't stopped and he's 21.
With your grandson Judah already doing that as well. So do you kind of anticipate he'll be?
Darn it, shucks. Dude, he's doing that. Yeah, I mean, he's going to grow up watching his uncle and his dad and all play. So yeah.
Okay.
I kind of like this game of basketball. You may have surmised that. Man, kind of enjoy it. So
whole family aside from your wife is on the court at the same time sometimes.
I tried to condense her, but
we're missing Matthew today. But okay, so Nathan is off the board. A really strong pick to build your team on. Matt, your next 2 picks.
All right.
Yeah.
No pressure on your pick.
Yeah.
So just for you, anyone in the audience, you guys have the list in front of you. But Matthew's son is also on the list. So this is one of his sons, so he won't have to play favorites.
But he's going to have to determine an order here.
Yeah.
He thinks his family bond is worth more than potentially a player that might be better. What is your first pick?
Well, we have to get a Brummett-Holmes rivalry going here. So I'm going to go with Ryan Holmes as my first pick.
Okay.
And it partly
That's a good
because
call.
he's my son, but he's also a strong player.
He's a good player.
So I'd probably pick him even if he wasn't my kid.
I mean, in this league, there are very few people who can keep up with me. I would say maybe 3. And I think Ryan's one of them. Although I will say his defense could be better if he put more effort into it.
You listening, Ryan? You listening?
I think because he spends so much energy on offense, he wants to take a break on defense.
Okay.
But if
I'll pass that along.
I think that's a cop-out. But from a teaching perspective, I would say.
Because as a player, the type of player I am, my defense is priority. So
Rest on.
If Brian has the physical tools to keep up with Nate, it's just very draining to keep up with Nate. So no one wants to do it. That's a good strong pick. Okay, so Matt, who's your second pick?
My second pick, I've got to break up the Brummett domination
I knew that was
that we
coming.
just saw in this last game. So I'm going to pick Jacob. And Jacob actually used to do private lessons with Ryan. So Ryan's kind of one of Jacob's proteges.
Got it.
So that'll be fun to have them playing together.
How many lessons did Jacob give across the
What
more
now?
or less one?
Probably less. I'd say a dozen-ish. I don't remember.
It was probably close to 20.
Yeah.
He was doing it for a number of months.
So yeah, Jacob taught him a lot, and it's kind of fun to watch those guys match up in a game. And if Ryan burns Jacob, Jacob gives him a nod and smiles a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, so I met Jacob his first season in our league. That was 2018 or 2019. He came with Zach, or they were both on my team, and we ended up losing, which was everyone was like, "How?" We had the two top scorers on our team. Jacob, I think, was just out of college, and he was far and away the best player in the league. But we ended up losing because I don't know if you know Joe Salcido.
I do.
He ended up
I remember
his team.
He had a family team that year, didn't
He basically kicked out all his bad players and then replaced them with Open Stand, who were really good players.
he? Dennison, all
And
those guys.
no weaknesses. So, like in our league, you have usually 2 to 3 really good players, and everyone else is kind of average. So Joe basically picked out all his average players and replaced them with really, really good players. And so that was really hard to beat. But I've loved seeing Jacob grow as a leader. I don't know if you kind of have seen that as well. But when he first came in the league, he was very competitive. He took the game very seriously, and then he bought into what I was trying to build here, which was I want the competition to be there, but I want fellowship aspect to be priority.
Mhm.
And he has tamped down a lot of this competitive here. It came out when you guys played with Sawyer. It came
The first time.
just
Yeah.
And I love when Jacob gets fired up. But he has done a really good job of developing into a leader in my league, and I respect him a lot for it because I think he sacrifices a lot of how he wants to play for the betterment of his team and for him. Would you agree, Scott?
I would agree. I often share, and I think I've shared with you. I think ministries surrounding sports are invaluable for 18 to 25-year-old guys. I think it's a great ministry to bring guys who would not be involved with church or with church people
Right.
into an element where, yeah, it can get messy.
Yeah.
It can get challenging, but I think it's invaluable.
Yeah. And, I mean, what other situation do you see 17-year-olds playing with 40-year-olds?
Thank you. Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so much opportunity for mentorship.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's going to take a while for these younger kids to understand that's what we're trying to build here. We're not, they're here to play basketball, and that's fine. But for me, I'm here to build something through basketball.
Right.
And once we get to that point, I think it'd be really invaluable. Really good discussions about life. Like that's what I think a lot of teenagers lack is like a person outside of their parents
So true.
to coach them about what to expect and have different perspectives.
But what better connection than being, somebody comes in who's a competitive athlete
Right.
and plays hard, and you can play hard and get physical and play within the game. And then after the game, you're shaking hands. Yeah, you can be mad at each other on the court, but between the lines,
Yep.
you're there. But once you step outside the line, then you're back to brothers, and you're able to set that example when you're out here.
Yeah.
Where else? I mean, you're not going to see that. You go to the rec center, they're fighting. I mean, and so
This school is because I'm not super old, but I'm much too old that I don't. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing? You guys are the players that are gonna fight. If you guys actually fight, no one. The game stops. You just ruined it for 800 people on the court. So I wanted to build this here because I wanted to play competitive basketball with refs, with stats. Also, I wanted to be in an environment where like we could be competitive have to worry about like, oh, they're gonna hate each other in the next minute because like Jacob and Sawyer not into it, but I was like, they'll figure it out. Like they did. They kissed and made up. It took them like 3 weeks, but they're friends again. But that was the purpose. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, which I feel like is missing. At least from my perspective, I didn't grow up in church, so I looked to my Bible study teachers or my youth pastor as my spiritual caller. But here we have a lot of wisdom between the age gap, right? We have a lot of over 30 and we have a lot of under 20. But like there's a lot of wisdom between that can be shared in that. And so once we get to the point, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I always share the story with. So I grew up Catholic, and then I didn't practice Catholic. I went every Sunday to church, and then I wasn't being ministered to. So I started looking for something else. I went to this church. We used to have Sunday night after church snack, which they had a gym, so we'd go play. I remember playing against the pastor, and the pastor, big guy, athlete, on a rebound, pivoted, hit me with an elbow, put me on my back. Now I'm new to the state, and I expected everything to stop and him to. He kept playing. That spoke to me. I realized, you know what? I can sit and listen to this man because I was competitive. It wasn't a dirty play. It was physical.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but we played. I respected it. I respected the fact that he, to me, I had a vision of Christian men being kind of soft. And he was
too polite,
too nice.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a mean old guy, but that was my sports. And when he didn't even help me up. He just played on. I was like, I spoke to him. I told you. It literally spoke to me. I'm like, I'll go. I went back to that church. I was saved in that church. I was married by that pastor. So it was.
I love that story.
It spoke a lot to me.
So hopefully you'll have one of those moments where you put someone on their back here, and you're not even gonna look at them.
I'm not. I'm walking away. So anybody's listening, no offense.
So Megan is kind of like she's watching the stream and she's
Hi, Megan.
We have 4 viewers now, so you guys have
Who are the other? Who are the others?
we won't know. So unless you guys comment, we won't know who it is. So
Okay.
Megan commented. So hi to Megan.
Tyler's on the list, so he's on one of the teams.
Okay, so Scott, we're moving on. Scott, you get the next 2 picks. So who are you gonna build your team around? Who are you gonna put around Nate?
Well, I have to go with Rhino.
Rhino.
Because the two, he and Nathan are tough together. Rhino can flat out play.
He is one of my. From the moment he entered our league, a lot of people found him annoying, which I agree.
People guarding him for sure.
So the people he's guarding.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he is, and I think his nature is he's a pass first. And I don't see that much of young players be pass first because they want to score.
Oh.
But his court vision, I saw right away. His hustle on defense, I saw right away. But really strong and annoying pick to pair them again. I said from the moment the captains drafted, that Jake drafted Rhino, I said, you have just put together 2 of the most annoying people to play offense against because they hop every passing. Rhino jumps out of the gym, and Nate and Rhino together are really hard to guard against in a fast pitch situation. So
I have to go there.
From it, but you gave him Rhino. I don't know if you'll regret your decision.
Well,
great pick, Scott.
That's a bummer.
He
was on my list.
He's on my list too.
Yeah.
He's on my team now.
So great pick, Scott.
And my next pick, I'm going to keep the rivalry alive.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sawyer.
Oh, that is a good, strong pick.
Any little size.
You do.
Sawyer can play.
Sawyer can play. So what are your thoughts on both Rhino and Sawyer as players? I know you played Rhino, and you played against Sawyer 4 or 5 seasons now. Like, what do you like about their game, and what do you like about their move?
Rhino has so much energy. He brings so much energy, offensively and defensively. I've coached a lot of guys through the years. He has probably the best court vision that I've seen of players. I've coached high school ball for a long time, and he's got incredible court vision. And when he's under control, and under control isn't slow,
Right.
then he's a very solid player.
Yeah.
I think Sawyer, his game is so controlled. He knows what he's doing. he goes to the basket hard. He reads the defense. A smart player, good size, can shoot. He's a tough guard.
Yeah.
And I like his knowledge too, because obviously he's played at a good level.
Yeah.
And his body is a big, solid kid. So
Yeah. Like, so Sawyer's first season in our league, I likened him to LeBron, specifically in our league, because he was so strong and so fast that the people fast enough to guard him were not strong enough, and the people strong enough to guard him were not fast enough. He's lost a couple of steps because his knee has been flaring up, as it does with age. As I'm sure you guys, not calling you guys out, but I'm just saying that.
He was looking at you.
and you're between us.
Yeah.
So.
I'm including my. I've noticed that depending on how his knee feels, that's how fast he moves. But he is. I like what you said, that he plays under control. He rarely makes a mistake, and he usually knows where to go with the ball and what to do. So I love Sawyer's game too. So yeah, that's a really solid pick. Although I'm going to tell you, every pick's going to be really solid. So all right, so Matt, you have.
So you just got one?
You got two.
You got two.
Rhino
and
Okay,
Sawyer.
got it.
So he has Nathan, Rhino, and Sawyer.
All right, so I get two. Yeah?
You can surrender now if you want. Be okay.
No way.
Nobody will.
So there's a lot of defense on Scott now. A lot of forced steals and a lot of blocks. Sawyer leads the league in blocks, and Rhino leads the league in steals, and Nate leads the league in points.
That's a pretty good pick.
That is a good pick. You have a very well balanced team.
That's impressive. I'm impressed.
All right. My next one, I'm going to go with Tyler Burn.
All right, Tyler Burns.
You watching, Megan?
He is watching. So Tyler Burns, very one of my favorite players. I met Tyler again our first season, and I thought he was by far the best player in terms of, like, he's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, he doesn't jump the highest, but for whatever reason, he almost never gets blocks. He gets way more rebounds than he should for being someone who doesn't get off the floor. And,
I know that feeling.
yeah, Scott has I think almost set your record was broken, I think, by Josh. Most rebounds in a game. But it was another over 40.
But I had a record.
You had 21. And Josh had 22.
Wow.
So but yeah, Tyler, I love his game. And he added a 3-point shot. So last season he added it, and now he's even more of a monster to guard. I think that's a great pickup, Matt, because you needed some defense to help stem the tide that is Nathan and Rhino.
Yeah. Okay. Got one more pick, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with Tim Johnson.
Timothy Johnson. So based on Scott sucking his teeth, I think that might have been his best pick. Tim, I think one of the only other players who can keep up with me if he's loose. I think there was one season in particular when Tim was on my team that Nathan got particularly annoyed with Tim playing defense on him. So I know that there's a little bit of a rivalry there. I will say, I think, no offense to him, I think you've lost a step this season. Your first step isn't what it used to be, so Nathan might be able to attack that, but he's a strong player. My one critique with Tim is sometimes he doesn't pass the ball as much as he should. So
as long as he scores, he doesn't have to.
He and Jacob played college ball together.
Yeah.
But if he's not scoring, would you tell him to keep shooting, or would you tell him to start passing?
Tell him to start passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt got Tim and Tyler. After your spot.
All right, so I'm gonna run with a little bit of a theme.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take Justin.
I have a feeling that's where you're going after you practice it with your team.
Yep.
You want to tell the folks what your
The
theme.
Christian Heritage Homeschool Group is the sports program that a lot of these kids have come from.
Yeah.
I've coached a number of them through the years. My kids all grew up in Christian Heritage and played their sports through Christian Heritage, and so
As did mine.
and made lifelong friends.
I mean, I'm
Through
going
the
to say
program.
that half the players here are probably Christian heritage, so you're not gonna have a hard time building a Christian heritage base of a team.
No, it's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so Justin, you are off the board. You're reunited with. Actually, I don't think you played with Dave.
no,
So you're not reunited with anyone. You're just reunited back with your coach.
yes, true. And this time, listen.
You heard it here, Justin. You gotta listen,
Uh,
because coach is gonna bench you.
I am. The great equalizers playing time.
Yes. All right. So
See, I can't separate them. So I'm gonna pick Maddie.
okay.
Maddie can play.
Yeah.
Maddie was fun to watch in high school.
So, yeah,
He scored a few times on me today.
Yeah.
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 He can shoot.
Justin on the stream when I had Justin and Addie, Justin was saying that he never loses in court, and
I believe that.
I think that I love how fearless she is, just like Kristen. Once she has the ball, if there's no one around her, she's gonna let it loose, and I think that those are smart shots, and people need to take those. And some people, for whatever reason, don't do that. Some people on my team are like that, which frustrates me. But I love how fearless she is. I worry about her playing with glasses on. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either.
But Maddie, hopefully you can just find some goggles or something, because it's been knocked off your face once before, and hopefully it doesn't get knocked off again. I'm worried that someone can land on them after the fact.
The first Christian Heritage varsity team I coached was the girls varsity when Kristen was a junior. I'd never coached girls before. I spent my life coaching guys.
Yeah.
That scared me to coach girls. But we had Kristen, we had Maddie, we had Brooke Farrar, who's on our team this year.
Yeah.
We had a great team
Yeah.
of girls that played hard. And
Yeah.
having Kristen and Maddie on the same team, oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
Infinite court spacing.
Oh, we had size, we had athleticism, we
Yeah.
had shooters, and so it was fun.
Awesome. You guys get to stay connected, Justin and Maddie. And I think it's back to you, Matt.
Okay. My next pick is my teammate this year, Aaron Slack.
Aaron Slot.
Guy can shoot and he's tough underneath. If we need a big guy to play low, he can play either outside the 3-point line or down low. He's strong.
Aaron can. That's a matter of whether he wants to. He doesn't want to play down low, which is what was frustrating me. Had Andrew Henson. No offense to Andrew, but Aaron probably has like 100 pounds on you. And well, but he wasn't posting him up, and he was staying up here, and then gave Andrew all the advantage back. So, but Aaron's a great player. Apparently, his dad had said that when Aaron was 50 pounds lighter, that he was a lot more dynamic. He would cut to the basketball. He played more inside down low, but after he got older, he gravitated to the outside, as most people tend to do for whatever reason when they get older. But great shooter, very streaky shooter. But he seems
Boy,
to
when he gets hot.
yeah, but when he gets hot, he doesn't miss it. He shoots from anywhere on the court.
Logo shots.
So great pick, Matt. What is your second pick?
Second pick is another big guy, Ricky.
So
We got some
the size on your team.
we got some defense here.
You got some defense. Are you worried at all about the stamina on your team? Because
Not at all. Not at all. Ricky's I hate to play defense against him.
yes,
He's tough.
yeah,
Probably the strongest guy in the league.
Yeah.
he is, and honestly, he could be stronger. He has told me that he's worried about using his full weight.
He-
And I told him,
I'll tell him to quit worrying. Quit worrying.
Especially because he's using
Knock him
against
down.
you guys. I don't want it to.
don't encourage him then.
Knock him
Yeah,
down.
I don't want his full.
No, I told him, I was like, you're right to worry. We have people who are trying to stay healthy.
Who work for a living.
But yeah, so I mean, Matt has basically picked up and the two biggest guys
Yeah.
on the list. So if it comes down to a battle of power, yours trouble, but you do have Rhino who can probably outjump both of them. So that isn't it's gonna work. It's gonna be interesting to see. how it plays out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So Scott, you have two more. So let's see. You
Yeah.
have one,
I have 5 now.
3, 4, 5. So you have two more,
3.
and then one more alternate, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you have two more picks and then one alternate. Same with you, Matt.
Mhm.
And so Scott, what are you going?
I'm gonna get some more energy, and I'm gonna get Kai.
Okay. So
Hopefully his knee's okay.
we'll find out. I mean, you saw him on the. I don't know if you saw him.
I didn't see it.
He was nursing his knee quite a bit.
He's going to fold up like a cheap chair.
It's okay. I got backup.
Yeah. He does have
We
that.
got your back, Kai.
Like a house of. No. I'll stop.
Well, you
Sorry, Kai.
Kai is luckily your base is Nathan and Rhino, so Kai's energy is more of like a icing on top
That's
more than a depending on Kai's energy.
Right.
So I think you're
I need a piece to the puzzle.
yes, you do need a little bit of
No, Kai's good.
maturity. Kai has played the game a long time, but you know when he first entered his knee, I don't know if you guys were there for that, but the first words out of his mouth were, "This has never happened to me."
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard me. What I said to him was like, "You've never been this old."
I do remember that.
Yeah, and so he's starting to learn, just like a lot of people. I think all of them. The body just doesn't recover as fast. You feel like
Sometimes not at all.
for me, I'm sure you guys have kind of have a feel for the type of player. I'm not afraid of contact, but I feel it now. When I get knocked to the
weeks.
floor, yeah, when I get knocked to the floor, I feel like my energy slipping away from my body. So I'll pop right back up, but I know that I just lost, 10%. And that's something that I had to get used to. But Meredith was always like, "Why do you take hits?" I'm like, "That's all I've known how to do.
It's just what you do.
What I do. Sometimes that's all you can do to stop someone.
Yeah.
I'm not high. I can't jump high enough, so I'm just gonna stay put, and if they don't know how to avoid me, then I'll get the stop. But
It gets better with age, just so you know.
I mean, I hope to be as mobile as you when I get there. When I in 4 years. Okay, so who's your second pick?
So I'm looking at my team, and I know we've got some range shooters.
Yep.
Or some guys who think they're range shooters. So I'm actually going to pick Steven. His mid-range game is solid.
Yes.
He's going to be that guy who's going to be in the 15-foot range, and he's going to bury that.
So Steve, he's very, very critical of himself. So he always tells me, like, he keeps track of all the stuff he misses stuff. And I think that's common for really competitive people. You
Oh yeah,
kind of expect to make shots, so it's
you should.
it's the ones that we miss that we remember. So Steve is very much like that. But most of the league know him as the kind of like, if he gets a shot from mid range, he's gonna drain.
He nails.
So Steve, I hope you're hearing this from more than just me, that that Scott has picked you for your mid-range specialty.
Because we'll spread the floor. These guys will spread the floor. We need that mid-range game a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, what I love about Steve too is he'll move to the open part of the floor.
Steve. Go, Steve.
Whereas a lot of players just move to where they want to go,
Mhm.
and it might not be where they should be. But Steve will move to a place
There's
where
a
no one
mid-range
can
right there.
Oh, it's going to be on cue too.
It usually
We'll forgive that
that's
one.
his shot.
Yeah.
Right
That's the one he missed.
get. We haven't seen him miss at all.
That's right.
To that. Okay, so Matt, you're gonna pick one last player to fill out your roster and one alternate.
Alrighty. I am going to next pick Josh Lipinski.
Josh Lipinski.
Yeah.
Are you reuniting him with your son Ryan?
Somewhat. I'm trying to think. So Josh used to play with GHS, and then he jumped ship to the Archers down in Marietta,
Right.
a competing team.
Okay.
And so we've got to play against him for, I don't know, I think 2 years after he left, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh has really, his shooting, he used to want to be a shooter, and he took a lot of shots, and we'd say, Josh should pass it more. But Josh has really improved as a shooter, and he's one of the best shooters in the league, I'll say. So he's going to be an asset.
Okay.
If he's hot, that is.
If he's hot, yes. He is one of the three pitchers, just like Aaron.
Yeah. Check.
But when he's on, he just like Aaron can hit it from half court. He's taking a couple half court shots that people are like, "What are you doing?" And then he brings it, and then you're like, "Still, don't do that."
Exactly. Why'd you shoot? Oh, swish. Okay.
One thing I've seen him, he's improved his drive and not and finish short shots, the runners and the lungs. He's gotten better at that. He used to just sit out there and if he missed, he took a step further back to try again.
Yeah.
It's like,
I will agree, and I mentioned this to him. I said his first season here, anytime he touched the ball, he would shoot it, no matter where he was. Now he'll actually look at the defense and he'll actually pump fake and drive it in. He will go for a floater, and he might even dump the ball. So I like to encourage players by recognizing them for doing good things, because I think that's really one of the only ways you can get them to continue behavior, to acknowledge them. And so that's what I like to see. I like to see people's games develop, because my game's not going to change very much anymore. You guys, your games are not going to change very much anymore. But the young people, they have an opportunity to build their game into something. And so I want to do my part as an older player to tell them, like, yeah, that was awesome what you did. Like, it shows that you're growing as a player. It's allowing, again, it gives an opportunity to other players to get involved in the game. Josh's first season, he didn't offer that a lot, but he's done a really good job, I think, growing.
You got to learn how to adapt the older you get too.
Yeah.
When you can't go by the guy and you can't.
Exactly, and I think that's what I was just talking with Jessica the last game, and I said, my game has changed a lot because I can no longer rely on my athleticism, which there isn't much at this point. So I've had to be a lot smarter with how I'm moving. I have to be a lot smarter with using leverage, and I'm going against a lot of stronger players a lot of the time. Like when I have to guard you guys, or when I've had to guard Ricky. But I like to think that I've been able to figure out at least how to keep up with you guys, at least how to ground myself so you're not bullying me in the post. Like Ricky gets frustrated because he's like, I don't know why I can't push you around. It's because I'm lower than you.
Low man wins.
So these are things that I think players don't think they need. And to be fair, Rhino doesn't need to know how to do that right now. But once he loses a couple inches, he's gonna have to adapt his game. But why not learn now?
Yeah,
add to your game now, and be a better pack.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that was mean.
That was your guy.
So now you'll be
That's my
picking
player.
your alternates.
Okay, so I picked next.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't know this guy, but I think he's new to the league this year, but he's really impressed me as a hustler.
Okay.
And so Zach Pierce, he's always hustling, and he at times looks awkward and out of control, but man, he's quick together. He impressed me as a player.
Yeah.
He hustles and he makes shots when they need him. So I'm gonna go with Zach next.
Okay.
As my
So
alternate.
that leaves Jessica with you, Scott.
Yep.
So Jessica, I don't know if you guys know much about her, but she played college ball.
I could see that.
Yeah.
She's and she out rebounds half the league despite being not.
He's got a good skill set. You can see it.
Yeah. And then she told me that as she's gotten older, again, this theme of changing your game.
That's what happens when you bring the veterans in as captains.
Well, I'm including myself. I'm not a young person anymore in terms of like my ability to move on the court. I have two broken feet, so but she set some scoring records for the college I hear.
Wow.
And so
Where'd she play?
I forgot.
It's the one on her shirt, the Grange.
Possibly.
Probably. Yeah.
But she said that she's realized that she's had to become more of a facilitator and more of a rebounder, and she had to kind of push her scoring way because for two reasons, not just for age. Aside from age, now she's playing with the men's ball, so she's not used to that. And she's also playing against men, so they're a lot. It's a lot easier for men to push her around because most of us tend to weigh more. But so she's used to being one of the taller, stronger players on the court. Now she's not. But yeah, I've been going having her here, like, because I like having more players to understand the game, be a part of our league, because I think that's ultimately what I want to have is Speckle. They're my A team. Yeah,
They were taught really well. No, I'm not sure who taught them. Yeah, you can tell just watching her that she completely understands the game.
Yeah.
So you can tell she's played at a high level just from her, the way she carries herself and what she sees and stuff.
So I mean, so that's our draft. We'll have the teams sent out in email and also on Instagram. Thank you guys for that. I just want to ask you guys, now that we'll there's 9 minutes left on this game. It's actually a pretty close game. Yeah.
46-44.
44 to 46. So really close game between these two teams. Tim's giving us he doesn't know what's going on. I think he's upset at the refs. I think anytime Tim's upset, I'm assuming he's upset at the
Or one of the brothers.
It's a toss-up usually.
That's true. But
we can get people upset. I don't know why. I think they're pretty nice people. Yeah.
I think they're just jealous.
Yeah.
They're just jealous. The fact that you guys didn't take together as a team.
So I stopped at 4 kids. So I could be number 5. They couldn't decline me on the team. Gotta have 5. So
Very wisdom.
my only competition was Karen, and she won out the first 2 games, but
Okay.
Give you a run.
she could get through.
So
That's my plan.
I did see it.
we had at one point, we had 2 years. I don't know what the other 4 were. We still have 2. But for anyone who's going to watch this after the fact, what do you guys see as? I know you've mentioned, Scott, and I you agree. You mentioned that there's a huge opportunity here using sports as a way to as a way of ministry. But like for you personally, do you have any advice to give either to myself or to people in this league? Like, you've seen this league change and improve and add and delete and grow. Do you have any sort of insight as to, like, am I doing something right? Am I on to something, or is it at the end of the day just going to be a basketball league and some people will get more out of it, some people won't?
Yeah, I'll speak first. Well, first of all, we all appreciate all the work you put into this because it's a ton of work. Scott and I both know how much work it is to organize the league, just to get facilities and refs, and what you do with the website and the live streams. It's insane. So we appreciate it, and it's there. Others appreciate it even if they don't say it. So thank you. And I see, as Scott mentioned, it's a huge opportunity for ministry. There's, I think most of the people here are Christians, I hope. And the ones who are buddies and just kind of join in, hopefully we're able to shine our light and be the salt that we've been called to be. I would say for a recommendation, I know you do your best to get the teams to have activities outside of here to get to know each other. I would say having captains who are strong Christians, spiritually mature, if they can, I don't know, maybe just do a quick devotion each week, or if it's simply send in a Bible verse that says, "Hey, this verse spoke to me."
Yeah.
If they could just do that, I think we would even shine our light more than we're currently doing.
Yeah.
So just we're doing it for sure. We're shining our light passively, but by I know we have many mature Christians here who would have a lot of wisdom to share, and I think that would be a way to improve.
I would echo a lot of Matt's sentiments in terms of you running the league. I think there's a couple things that I see when you run a league of adult leagues. The biggest challenge is keeping the consistency, and I've seen you do it. Like I saw you do it today. I don't know the kid's name, but he's a good player. But he's got some challenges on controlling himself, and he was having an issue. And you spent a lot of time talking with him. I think that goes a long way because the first instinct would be to say, "Look, you're gone." Hey, you lay the foundation, and you keep strong with that. I don't know if I think you've mentioned you've had to kick one person out of the league, but that goes a long way. That some not to that person, but that somebody got kicked out of the league. That tells people there's a line. And the hard part is maintaining that line, and allowing the competition to flow,
Right.
because you have to allow the competition to flow, because you start getting the hyper competitive, the young men primarily, that look for something here, and they want to play, and they find a league, and they go to an adult league. What do they get out of the adult league? They get basketball. They get a good quality basketball game. What else do they get?
Right.
And if they come here, they get a good quality basketball game. They also get a focus on, we're here, like you say, we're here to honor God for what we do. We're here to play and do it with our basketball. And I think you do a great job with that. That's why the league's growing.
Yeah.
That's why you're getting so many people coming in and so many new people. Yeah. And if you look at the new influx, the league's gotten a lot younger.
Yes.
Trust me, a lot faster, a lot younger. So I'm definitely seeing that, but I think that's positive.
Yeah.
I think that's great that people are going to their friends and saying, "Look, hey, somebody I played with in high school, not a Christian, they're going to Crossroads, they see the league. Now let's say to their buddy, hey, got a league we can play in. Want to come? It's a Christian league, but they get out here, they see the level of competition, they go, I can play in that. I can have fun with that." So
yeah, and that's honestly been one of the challenges, is how to toe the line of having good competition, but also making us different than an adult, right? I've been to a lot of it. I actually was really turned off from church sporting events for a long time, because I assume Christians, sure, they probably grab non-Christians to play on their team as well, but I saw them acting worse than non-Christian games. And I was like, what's setting us apart at that thing? What is the point of calling this a Christian league, aside from maybe proceeds going to some missions trip? So that was my heart for here. As I said, I wanted to make sure that this is different. There was a tangible difference with not only just the competition, but the people here are all in the same page. You don't have to behave like that to get your point across.
right. Yep.
Right? We can all be competitive, but also not want to fight each other.
What's interesting? You share that. I'm a little older than you are. Even mine, when I was in my 20s, the reputation of church league basketball was worse than rec basketball.
Really?
More fights in church league basketball, more cussing, more everything. And it was church league basketball.
Yeah.
And that was the reputation.
Right.
And that was a couple of decades ago.
Yeah.
More than a couple of decades.
I hated that, again, just because I'm thinking I'm a Christian. I'm going to a Christian sports league. If no one said it was a Christian,
right? Would they notice? Yeah.
And because in my mentality, going to this is going to be fun. I'm going to have a good competitive spirit, but also I'm not going to have to worry about people cussing people out or trying to fight. But some of the worst things I've been called was in a Christian sports league. Someone threatened to rip my face off. Who does that? That's weird.
that is weird.
Again, Christians. Why are we here at that point? So that's big motivation for me with what we're doing here. And the score is
52-54.
52-54 with 7 seconds left. I think someone might have rolled an ankle or something.
Marquise went down.
Called a timeout, but they're trying to decide whose ball it is.
Yeah. But Tim's limping is what I'm saying.
Oh.
So it was Marquise.
Well, Marquise is...
Yeah, Marquise was down. It looked like he was the one down over here.
Well, I mean, Marquise might have just wanted a little extra breather. It's one of the tricks you pick up, right? I'll stand the ground a little bit. They have to...
Would never do that. If anybody would know of, I would never do that.
But, I appreciate you both being here. I hope that you guys continue to bless us with contributions to your teams. You guys garner a lot.
Mhm.
Look around with you.
That's a very enjoyable part of coaching. I mean, I've coached 40 years in the game. Coached in public school for 25, and
Started coaching.
pretty much, yeah. A few years out of the loop. So, but the thing that's enjoyable is when you get the kids that you've coached and you see them at a different level, and
Yeah.
and you get to interact with them as adults and young men and women sometimes. It's just it's great. That's why it's still around it. So,
Included the game. I think Tyler's team won. Based on the scores on this side. That's the whole team.
Got it.
So we'll see you guys next week. I hope that you guys, I'll give you guys the contact information of your team so you guys can reach out to them if you guys want to have some sort of pre-game strategy,
Okay.
or if you guys want to send a Bible verse to have them study and a memory verse to bring the game. Anyone
There we
who
go.
doesn't say the memory verse,
We're gonna pin it to their shirt.
get the eye black and write it on the eye black. Tim Tebow.
Great.
for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you for-
Thanks,
Be
Kev.
fun.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.